Normally at this time of the year we start a new project, and obviously we can't do that this year. But I still want to do some sort of a project. So what we're going to do this year is a research project. Now it's going to be very similar to what you'll do next year in your CBA. So I suppose you can look at it as it's going to be a CBA mock, right? The project brief that I'm giving you is design a model of a solution to help reduce road traffic accidents in your local area. Right? We can all go outside and look around and find some issues in our local area, whether that be out in the countryside, inside a town, small village, whatever. We all have traffic near us, and no matter how good the current system is in place, we can all find problems and issues with the traffic. So that should be no issues to get through this. If you want to make something, I'm going to put up a photo here. Have a look at it there. That's for the person that wants to maybe make something. On the right hand side you can see a photo of someone that maybe made a layout. Okay, so the one on the left hand side is a motor that shows a barrier that lifts up and down. On the right hand side, the person didn't really want to make something, and maybe they're not as good with the tools or something like that, and they made a layout for a set down area for a school. Now both could be used, both are acceptable, and depending on what goes with both of those artifacts, you could get very good marks for both. So your success criteria, right? Success criteria is really, what do I have to do in order to get the most marks? So answer each of these questions in full. If you only answer half the questions, you will only be eligible for half the marks. Now that should make sense. Okay? You must show evidence of your work, i.e. drawing notes or drawing sketches and writing out notes. If you don't show your evidence of your work, you cannot get marks. I can't assume you've done work, okay? Each week that you hand up something will count for 10% of your total marks, your total grade at the end of the summer. That means that for the next 5 weeks, you're going to be getting 10% each week if you send in work. If you do not send in work, obviously you can't get your 50%. You must have work submitted each weekend for it to count, right? That means you can submit on Saturdays and Sundays, but when Monday comes around, you can't submit last week's work on a Monday, okay? We'll be starting something new every single Monday from now on, okay? Week 1, so your success criteria for week 1, which is worth 10%. Answer this question: have I researched road safety issues in my local area? If you have, what are the road safety issues? Make a list of them, give an explanation as to what are those issues and how they are affecting you. Have I shown a range of road safety solutions that are currently in place? Okay, so if there's any solutions that have currently been put in place by the councils or by whoever, by the town council, make a list of those and give an explanation as to how well they are working, how poorly they are working, if you think they're safe or not. Okay, so that's the work for week 1. That's going to be worth 10%. So, have I researched road safety issues in my local area, and have I shown a range of solutions that are already in place? Now, just because you research them doesn't mean that you're going to automatically get the marks. You have to show me how you've done that research and what the findings of that research is. Safety information in general. This is not your local area, this is just all over Ireland. So, like, for example, what are the speed limits? What are the penalties for breaking those speed limits? Just general road safety information, right? So find out as much as you can about that. Second point, can I explain what I have learned and how might I improve the situation? So this is where your project is asking you to, take the information you've learned and use it to improve the situation and the problems that you found in week 1. Now, I put this in already, but here it is again, give evidence of all the research that you conducted. I can't stress that enough. If you don't give evidence, you can't get marks. You might have done hours and hours and hours of research, but it won't count for anything if you don't show it to me. Week 3, have I presented a range of design ideas? Okay, so you should have 2 ideas, and that's a minimum. You can do 3 or 4 if you like, but you have to have 2 ideas minimum. If you only do 1 idea, you'll only get enough marks for 1 of them. Okay, how will you present your ideas? Sketches and notes again should be used. Remember the sketching we did from earlier this year, right? We've done 2D sketching, we've done 3D sketching. Obviously, if you spend a lot of time doing sketching and rendering and colouring and shading, you're going to get more marks. If you do a very, very basic sketch and you use a biro, okay, obviously that's not going to impress me very much. So try and present a range of different design ideas. If you go back to slide number 1 or number 2, you can see that there's 2 completely different ideas, but neither of them might be acceptable for your particular project or your particular problem. So come up with a range of different design ideas and give me some notes and sketches on those. Week 4, have I explained how my design idea is linked to my research? Okay, so this is really important. So if you come up with some unbelievable project here and it doesn't link to your research, or it doesn't link to your local area, well then it doesn't count, right? It doesn't work because it has to be specific to that exact problem. So if you don't have this issue, then you can't solve it. Have I communicated all parts and details of my design and my thinking? So what I mean by that is, have I explained how this system will work? In my sketches, is it clear what exactly everything is? You have to take it that I don't know anything about technology or anything about solving problems, and you have to explain to me as if I'm a 5-year-old how this thing works. Okay, so explain every single element of your project in week 4. In week 5, can I make my design solution to a high standard? Okay, so you're actually going to make this. Now, obviously you can't use things like perspex or timber unless you have them at home. You have to answer this question, I suppose. What materials can I use? Now, what I would be suggesting is you could make a model of what you would make inside the technology room. You could use cardboard, an old shoebox, cereal boxes, things like that. Cut it up and you could use those to make your model. Now you can paint them. I'm sure everyone has paint or some sort of coloring pencils that you can make this look like an attractive piece. Second last question, have I created a solution that will reduce road traffic accidents in my local area? So you take your model and you go and you make it in real life to full scale, full size. Would this actually help reduce the amount of accidents? If your answer to that question is yes, then you've been successful. If it's no, you have to go back and rethink your design.